Hello, I've got hiccups. I apologize if I shake the camera. Ah, hello, long time no see, everybody. I have been busy, have not been home. I've been helping a friend move, uh, and um, they still don't have internet up yet. They should get it this Thursday, but so I could not do what I was planning on doing of editing some videos and putting them up on YouTube. Mm. I'm hoping that taking a drink will help the hiccups. Hopefully. Hiccups. Hopefully somebody pops in and says hello. Uh, um, so I'm hoping to do my menu plan for this week today. I normally would do it on Sunday, so I would know what for supper today. But I just didn't get to do it. I got home late Saturday night. We did Father's Day stuff yesterday, and then just got home, and I was tired. I'm still putting stuff away. Oh my goodness! Anybody has a cure for headaches? Go scare me! Ah! I don't know how come I got hiccups all of a sudden. So, anyways, I have so much stuff to do around the house. I am just sitting down now. I went to my garden plots at the community garden, and hi, Tom. Tom. I finally planted my boxes. So I had some garlic to plant and onions and hot pepper plants. The rest I planted were seeds. I know it's a little bit late, but we have all the seeds were under 75 days, 75, 80 days to duration. So that brings us right into September, like end of August, beginning of September, which everything comes available then too. So I tried to plant some asparagus seeds, which won't be available for this year. I planted some lavender seeds. I think, is lavender a perennial? I planted some herbs. I planted some Asian vegetables. So some daikon and bok choy and some, I think it's rapini, some Asian thing, like broccoli. Um, I planted some pole beans, or not pole beans, bush beans, and I'm pretty sure that you eat them as beans. My family likes beans, but not beans like green beans or yellow beans. They're strange. So I figure maybe I can plant them and just eat the beans. Um, have you ever tried bush beans? Planted a bunch of herbs and planted some multicolored peppers, tomatoes, and lettuces. That's about it, I think. Oh, and there were some tomato plants from last year that came back up. So the must have like tomatoes that have fallen in the seeds. And I think I might have planted asparagus in my community box last year, but I didn't see it grow because I was seeing some things that looked like possibly asparagus. I don't know. I'm trying asparagus because I know asparagus is perennial, And if it keeps on coming back, then great. That's one thing I don't have to worry about. My onions from last year came back at my garden here. That I've replanted it back in my garden. But do you do any gardening, Tom Tom? Oh, I'm just stretching my feet. Oh, I I went to help my friend move last week. Well, we painted. She had ripped up her husband had ripped up the carpet and was putting down clicket flooring before moving stuff in the house. They had moved some stuff, and then we had to move their house as well as a storage unit. Um, they still haven't gone back to the old place to clean, but they have until the end of the month to do that. So they still have a few things there. But they're basically their house is like 85% set up. So that was fun. So I was away, so I didn't. I set up my family with some meals. Hey Donna, yes, you're number two. I set my family with some meals last week because I was away from Wednesday till Saturday night. Awesome. It's always nice. So where I am, I'm like, my property doesn't get a lot of sun, and the soil's kind of clay. So it's really clay, and then we're on the Canadian Shield, like literally like 4 inches down. Oh, what's the house calling? Who's calling me? Telemarketer. I don't answer. Put the camera up a little higher. Okay. Yes. Well, it's on. It's I have it taped on um my laptop. So, I'm just having it sitting there with my laptop underneath so I can see the chat. What's it? So I have two plots at the community garden, which are 4 by 8 plots, and they're raised gardens, and the soil is way better there. And so this time I've got two of them so that I could plant more stuff. It's never enough to feed my family because the things my family likes don't really grow well here. When you film from below, emphasize double chins. Yeah, no problem. I'm trying to do. I was like, I go like that. I just, so only problem is I'm not. I'm sitting on the couch. I still have. I got most of the dirt out from my hands. Oh, and it poured rain while I was there, so my dress is still damp. And I have a little bit of blackberries growing on our flower bed. Yeah, we are trying to grow. Um, we are trying to grow in our community garden against the fence some raspberry things. We got some raspberry sticks or whatever last year, but I don't know if any came back this year. And then we have a butterfly garden to promote the butterflies. But with that, the uh, the garden is going well. A lot of the plots are planted. There's two that looks like they haven't been planted yet. So I'm gonna have to contact them because I'm the president and stuff, saying, "Hey, you should weed your garden at the very least." Um, but some stuff like they've had the boxes before, so some stuff from last year has reseeded itself. Like they both have dill growing in them, and I think one has like carrots growing from last year. But there's lots of lamb's ear and other weeds and stuff like that. Lamb's ear you can eat, but it just hasn't. It hasn't looked like it's been done anything with. So I know one of them. They were out of town. Is that real? Yes. Yes, he spends his vacation on my couch. Because it's always Christmas here. It's the one time of the year I absolutely love. Um, there was one time of year when I was a kid that my family would put on their best behavior and try and be civil and nice and try and think about others than themselves. You know, didn't always work, but they at least made an effort. Oh, I wish, I had a table that could just let this sit here. So I can still sit at the couch going, erg. I'm trying to think what to do. Yeah, my dress is still, but I love this dress though. It dries really easily. Like I think it's polyester or whatever. But I was completely soaked while gardening, and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking in the mud, I'm like, I'm already wet. No, nothing to be done here. But by the time I was done, I was able to dry off and got home. A little giddy right now. This weekend I got small seedless watermelon. Ooh, yum. My kids had watermelon when I was gone too. I had a watermelon. I don't know if it was, I think it was seedless. Yeah, so this pantry challenge has been interesting. I did go out last week and I picked up some chicken for my daughter and some ham because she was making mozzarella stuffed chicken breast. That's what she wanted to do while I was gone. So I wasn't home from Wednesday till Saturday night. So I had made a baked mac and cheese for them to have. I made tabbouleh for them to have for lunches or for part of a supper. And then they were going to make the uh, um, stuffed chicken. And then they ordered out Saturday. They ordered KFC. And that's part of our entertainment budget. It's not part of my grocery budget. So um, I didn't count that. And this week I'll be doing groceries. So normally I would have gone groceries last week, but I was out of town. Plus my friend who I do groceries with was busy until, actually she was out of town too, until today. I think she comes home. We're going to go groceries on Thursday, and I'm only going to pick up things we run out of. A big thing for us because my hubby prefers to get the pre-cut bowls for the grocery store. But oh my goodness, yes, they're like $13. Yeah, I paid $3.95 for our watermelon on my last grocery haul, I think, and it was 11-pound watermelon. The girls had some, I guess, on Saturday for lunch. They've eaten half a watermelon. I asked if they wanted watermelon for their lunches today, and they said no, it'd be messy. I'm like, okay, so we'll have watermelon with our supper tonight. As much as 3 bowls. Exactly. And if you can make them, like, you, the convenience is fine for those who don't have the time, but though you're paying basically for their hourly wage. It's so much easier to, like, if you want a veggie platter or a fruit platter, it's so much cheaper than for you to purchase those fruits and vegetables and cut them yourself. Only problem is certain things like a watermelon or a pineapple, you don't need as much as the other fruit, so you have leftovers. He thinks those large, I get them, it was one single. Yes, serving size. What see, watermelons they're all water. So what's funny talking about watermelons? A friend of mine many moons ago when our kids were small, she was on this raw diet. Um, she was told it would help with one of her kids' like attention deficit stuff or whatever. So they were doing everything raw. So summers were great, like salads, fruit, and stuff like that. She would cook things in like the oven at 200 degrees and stuff like that, like beef jerky or something like that. But everything was raw. She didn't cook up anything. Um, so one time I called her and said, "Oh, what are you having for lunch?" And like, "Watermelon." I'm like, "Watermelon what?" "Oh, we're just having watermelon." Like they're having the two kids and her were just having a whole watermelon for lunch. I'm like, "There's no actual nutrients really in it. It's all water." We used to get the big ones because it was the only size that came back, and we would only slice off what we wanted to eat at the time. But the problem with that, like I have a big one that's 11 pound one. Hi, hometown cooking with Marianne, is that it has to be really eaten within a couple of days. If you pre-cut it, um, the watermelon, it gets mushy. So once you've done that first cut, it's good to eat right there. It doesn't travel. My girls were right. It doesn't travel very well. It would get mushy. Um, but 2-3 days is about the max that you can get from watermelon. Do you think it's better to cut an entire thing up, size pieces all at once in a plate? Yes, but if you do that, you have maybe 2 days worth. If you can just cut into the like a quarter piece, um, it lasts longer. Well, yeah, well, it's cut, but my kids want to eat it at home, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. They were not helpful today. So all last week I wasn't here. Um, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thursday they did it themselves either the night before or the day of. I told them last night, come down, make your lunches, and or this, and I also told them this morning to come down, make your lunches, or help make lunches. I offered them some options of what I saw in the fridge for lunch, and they were like, no, no, no. I'm like, okay, I'm just grabbing the snacky things that I have: the yogurt tube, granola bar, and a fruit pouch, and you can figure out the rest. Well, my oldest didn't grab a lunch. She left it on the table. I'm like, I took a picture of what this is what they did. They didn't come down. Too bad. Abby said, she goes, "Is that all you packed me?" I'm like, I offered you like 8 different things, and you didn't want any of them, and that included things that I knew she liked. And since she didn't come down in a timely fashion, actually she was significantly late because she was really hard getting up moving this morning. She has insomnia, so like there's a legitimate issue of insomnia, and her circadian rhythms off. Like her 24-hour clock is off, so there's a legitimate. But I'm trying to get her up. I'm playing ACDC at 80% volume in her room for 40 minutes, trying to get her to move. And then you have to get up and you do your morning constitutional and all that stuff. That took about 25 minutes, and it's like, oh, you're already an hour late. So she was an hour late today, and that was not fun. Yeah, well, watermelon does have some vitamins, but I'm like, it's like 90% water, so there's not really substance. It's actually not high in calories. Hey Google, melon. First, you just throw it all in the blender and frappe it. Freeze it, ice cube. Oh, okay. I never thought of doing it that way. That sounds neat. Sorry, I don't know why it's buffering. Yes, no, no, it's not. It's not bad. I was more of just saying, like watermelon is like a lot of water. There's not a lot of substance. Like for example, like a pineapple when there's a lot of fiber and it actually fills you up. With watermelon, you can kind of there doesn't seem to be a lot of fiber in it. Like you could eat probably half a watermelon and still be hungry. Offering 8 different things is only offered to take your. Yes. Well, this was the thing. I had just come home. They were doing it themselves. Lots of vitamin C and pineapple. Yes, it's supposed to be really good for better than cough medicine for a cold. Has a low glycemic and very healthy with other minerals. Yes, it has lots of like vitamins and in it, but just not a lot of um, substance. Like if you have an orange, that will fill you up more than the same size of watermelon. Same weight of watermelon or volume. Exactly. It's like Chinese food. I don't know what it is. I don't have. I swear, I love Chinese food and lots of Asian foods and stuff like that. But you eat it and you eat till you're kind of full, because there's rice or whatever it swells up, and you drink lots of water or tea or whatever, and then like an hour or two later, you're hungry again. Oh, thank you, Sherry. And make tatly goon. How are you? Awesome, good timing. Because I can't see the chat very well sometimes. People want a ton of nutrition. Well, true. But you have to have, like, that's why, like, doing diets and stuff don't always work. Because you have to feel satisfied. Otherwise, if you don't feel satisfied, you're just going to go back to the fridge and grab more of whatever. So, it's all about portions. Popped him. Now there's 8 in here instead of 2. Awesome. Woohoo. Well, yeah. Love pasta. But, lately I've been finding, um, with pasta, like, because we have the same bowls, right? Um, I've been finding if I just put a little bit less in my bowl than I normally did, I really don't notice the difference. So I'm taking smaller portions of things that I know are not as healthy, and taking larger portions of things that I know are healthier, like the vegetables or the salad. Yes, there's salad dressing, but it's not swimming in it. And it's usually, um, I usually use my own homemade, like, balsamic vinaigrette dressing, um, versus the creamy ones. Took your fresh class in college about 3 years ago. What are the only 3 substances? Carbs, protein, and fat? And this is the problem. Like back in the 80s, everybody was doing like low fat. Well, low fat meant that sometimes there were some Franken foods. So there was stuff that they made to look like food and taste like food, but it was made with a whole bunch of chemicals. I'd rather stick to real food and just work on portion sizes. Like increase my portions on fruits and vegetables, which honestly I don't eat enough fruit, honestly. I do eat more in the summertime because it's more readily available and it tastes better, but I just don't eat fruit. Amino acids, proteins, both animal, liquids, lipids, fats, and carbs. Yeah, everyone thinks carbs are evil and bad for you. That's it. Simple carbs and complex carbs. Exactly. Like you need the more complex carbs because your body takes more time to eat them. Carbs are not necessarily bad for you. Like you need them, but your body can only. Because I've read up on this too. Like your body can only handle so much carbs, and if you've eaten more than a certain amount of carbs, and each person is different because of their body types and stuff, that your body takes the extra carbs and right away stores it as fat for later. And that's how you get kind of fat. The same thing with protein. It only can handle so much protein, whatever it puts away. Same with fat. It only can handle so much fats, whatever. That was weird. I got disconnected reason, and it puts whatever you don't use away and stores it on your body. So that's why you should eat. It's been recommended to eat 2, 3, 4 times a day or every 2 to 3 hours. Very healthy. Well, exactly. You need the roughage and stuff because, and that's the problem with today's society is that we as people, in general, are working our butts off, and we don't have time to come home and cook a real meal from real ingredients. So we travel and do fast food, or we pick up stuff that's processed that you can easily throw in the microwave at home or whatever. So you're getting away from the food. Like back in the early 1900s, people lived on farms and they were eating about twice as many calories as we do these days. But they weren't fat because they were exercising and they needed those calories just to get the energy to work on the farm. I'm getting and sugary. Yes. Keto diets for a bird. I've not tried the keto diet myself. I have tried something called Trim Healthy Mama, which is a low carb but also has um, carbs in it. But it's more like flour. Basically, white things are not good. Like white flour, white potatoes, white sugar, white rice. Not you shouldn't eat. But brown rice or brown flour, like whole wheat flour, you could a bit. Hey Eric, thank you for liking the stream. It's a live stream. About 99% of everybody that's blindly follows something like a keto diet doesn't even have a clue. No. Yeah. Well, I have a friend who's has a gluten intolerance, so it's not celiac that she's going to like die from it, but it makes her body like even if she has like one like bite of something that had flour in it, her tummy she'd have tummy issues and stuff like that. People in keto end up eating once a day. Well, exactly. I don't want to take supplements. I'd rather eat real food. Less than one of the yes, but I know two people who do have it. It turns out one husband had it since they were a child, and then the husband um, got intolerance, and then once he had cancer, he found out that he was actually celiac too. Hopefully everybody grabbed a coffee. Mine's in my travel mug. Well, burn fat rather than carbs. Yeah, so that's the thing is I think I'll be doing more Trim Healthy Mama. I bought the ebook many moons ago. I think it was like 5 years ago. It's great. It's just it doesn't always fit very well in um, for my family. Well, my family doesn't like they like their carbs, right? So, but you can eat carbs. Don't do coffee, but Okay, well, have a glass of water or tea. So you basically you're supposed to eat every 2 to 3 hours. That's the hardest part. It's not the whole recipes. It's the actual eating every 2 to 3 hours. Because I tend to eat twice a day. Yeah. But see, you eat like a satisfying meal, which would be protein and fat, with very few carbs. You have to keep your carbs. I think it's under 15 grams or something like that. Or you have an energizing meal, which is more complex carbs and fruits and vegetables and lean protein and very little fat. So because your body can only burn fat or carbs at any time. Exactly. Well, when it burns both, it doesn't do it very effectively or efficiently. So, like, that's why sometimes if you eat a big meal, like, if you have a, Christmas dinner, you have a big meal, you're stuffed. Okay? You could go to bed stuffed. You could wake up in the morning, you're stuffed because you still haven't digested it. You can go to the washroom and be done in the washroom and still at lunchtime still be stuffed, like your stomach is still full. Your body should digest your food within 4 to 6 hours so that it can grab the nutrients. Otherwise, it's just sitting there, which causes other problems. You know, your body's grabbed the nutrients. It's just sitting there and festering and, you know, getting into its own troubles. So that's, I mean, the concepts are easy. The food isn't bad. Like, who doesn't like to have steak? You can have steak and veggies, but you can't have steak and potato. You know, if you want that baked potato, you can have that baked potato, but you have to have baked potato with veggies and a little bit of like lean chicken. But you have to make sure there's only like low fat with it. So it doesn't always work for a budget. It can, and it's really easy in the sense that you're not really calculating a whole bunch of things. Like, at first you are a little bit, but once you figure out portion sizes, it's not bad. My problem is that my family, I tried, well, this is also 4 or 5 years ago when I tried some of the recipes. They liked some of the recipes, but they didn't like others. And up here in Canada, I couldn't get um, any of the specialty foods, like for example, peanut powder, like ground up peanut powder, or different stevias. Like stevia, we barely could get up here at that time. Now it's more readily available, um, and stuff like that to make, like, you can do the whole plan with eating regular food, but to make the more elaborate things like the desserts and stuff like that, you needed some of these things to kind of combat, because you're trying to get rid of sugar. It's low glycemic index diet, so it's good that way. Um, I think in July I'm going to try and look back at the program and try and do some of the recipes because I really did enjoy it, and honestly, it was easy to lose a little bit of weight within a short period of time without trying hard. So my hair is still wet. Got caught in the rain, and I had my hair in a bun because I was hot. It was, hey Google, hey Google, what's the temperature out?
In Ottawa right now, it's 27.
So 27 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean Celsius. Hey Google, how much is 27 degrees Celsius?
27 degrees Celsius equals 80.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
80. So that's not too bad. It was hotter earlier. It was muggy. Um, then it rained, and then after the rain, like, it was still overcast. It was still hot. I'm like, I hate that. I like when the rain comes and it like lowers the temperature down. I don't deal well with heat. I got my gardens planted. I still have to plant some more in my garden here, and I have to clean up my yard. It didn't get done while I was gone. Amanda! We were talking about food and some things I'm going to do. Probably for July, to do some more trim healthy mode. Oh, it's good. Well, so I went and helped my friend move. It's like 92. Yeah, with it's 80 something here Fahrenheit without the the humidex. So I helped a friend move. I've helped paint her bed, one of her rooms, and we moved stuff from her PMQ, cause so her husband, fiance, house, and so moved the stuff from the PMQ, which they had a bunch of stuff in storage, because they were renting. So they were rent. This is it was like a gong show earlier. They were renting a place for about a year, and the previous owner said, "Oh, we're going to be looking at selling the house in the next couple months. So here's like your 2 month notice." And they're like, okay. Well, combined, they have um, 6 kids. So he has 2 from his previous marriage. She has 3 from her previous marriage, and they have 1 together. They're like, there was not any places for rent. They looked up for places for rent for their family, and they're paying like 600. Like they were paying $1,600 where they were, and then they were looking around, and their like places were $1,400, $1,600, and they were dumps, or they were little places. They're like, I can't fit 8 people in this. Yeah, $1,600 in Petawawa. Like, it's a house or townhouse that needed repairs, rentals and stuff. So they were looking and looking and looking, and then they went and said, "Well, let's check out purchasing." Yeah, so they're looking at buying a house, and since right now she doesn't have good credit because her ex screwed her over on the credit thing, because she had was on the mortgage and on a couple of loans that he didn't pay on time, and he like so she didn't have a horrible credit rating, but not a great one. He used to have an excellent credit rating, but then there was all this lawyer stuff with uh, his ex, fighting for custody and stuff like that. So there was a couple bills that he paid late because he was paying lawyer fees and all that stuff. So they managed to get a mortgage um, through a broker, which means the interest rate was a little bit more than what you can with a bank. But they combine all the things together, like their property taxes and all that stuff, for 2 years. And then after 2 years, then they can get a mortgage elsewhere. But 4%, I think, which is pretty good because ours is just under 3. So that's not a huge difference. So, but they managed to find a place that they love. It actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, and it's like a split level bungalow. Really nice, and a bit of land, like a porch. Like there's here, well, yeah. And with the mortgage, they're going to be paying 1,300 with the mortgage and property taxes. No, exactly. So it's less than that for a mortgage, and only thing that they so even with rent, they still had to pay heat and hydro on top of that 1,600. So now they still have to pay heat and hydro on top of 1,300, but the property taxes are, I think, water is included. So, but that's about it. And then, so I helped her move, got her set up with the kids' rooms, got their clothes put away, got the kitchen all set up because you know me, that's my thing. Got her all put away and showed her with her spices. She needs to get a few more spice jars because she has all these bags that of things that she uses all the time. But it wasn't like she kept on saying, "Oh, it's messy because it keeps on coming," and then they broke a few spice jars, so um, they need to get some more. Yeah, well, I went. I spent 4 days there, so they had another couple come down, but the that's friends of ours, right? She just has a newborn, like 2 months old, 3 months old, like 3 months old now. My friend has a one year old, so she was having to stop a lot to breastfeed and all that stuff. So she came down with her husband, and her husband was helpful with a lot of the heavy move stuff, like the appliances and that. Um, so they were moving while the three of us were unpacking and putting stuff away, like unpacking from the from the truck, as well as the kids were able to grab small things from the truck and bring them into the house. And so with in a day and a half, we moved all the stuff from the PMQ and the storage shed. Except there's a few things still left at PMQ. And the reason why I didn't go on YouTube, they had no internet. They still don't have any internet. Where they're living, they can only get internet from this one company because Bell doesn't get there. And she had called not last week but the week before saying she was going to move and try and put a move order in, and the phone kept on disconnecting her. So she finally got a hold of them on Friday. Thursday she was on hold for 2 hours. Well, and the children were in school, so she had to get them to school because where they moved to is just out of boundary for the school bus. So they're technically in a different district, but since the ex lives in district, they could still go to that school. So she had to go and drop the kids off at school. Well, first had to feed the kids with what was in the house. One day, she drove hubby drove to Tim Hortons and ordered breakfast sandwiches for everybody for breakfast and coffee. Gave the kids a breakfast sandwich. We had enough. We made lunches, um, and sent them off to school. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do when you're moving, right? But the kids were like, when before I got there, they were like, they had lots of pizza, and the kids are like, no more pizza, no more McDonald's, and they're like, oh, no more takeout. So when I got there, they were all excited because the kids know, like when she used to live close to me, I used to come over. Whenever I came over, I was helping her cook it, like, and there was always something yummy, or sometimes something different, but always something yummy. Like it wasn't going to be like spaghetti, you know. So, uh, they're like, "Oh, Jen, you're here. What are you gonna make?" Haha, no more fast food. They were exactly. They were so excited not to have fast food. Like we still had one thing. One time they did, or they went and picked up for lunch. I think was chicken from the it was from the grocery store. So it was like chicken strips and fries and pasta and coleslaw and potato salad because they hadn't. Um, so the things that they still had, they had something like fruits and veggies and yogurts and stuff in the fridge, but meat wise, they had 3 turkeys in the freezer. Not something that you want to cook while you're moving. And they had some chicken nuggets in the freezer, but not enough for her 6 kids, the 2 of them, me, and the 2 others that were there. So they picked up a few things at the grocery store. Then the next day, I made chili. According to my friend's recipe, she puts canned tomato soup in it. I've never put canned tomato soup in it. It was quite good. She did use this chili seasoning packets. I sometimes use them. I usually wing it. And I kept on asking her to try it to see if it was too spicy because I can't tell if things are too spicy, especially for me. When I find it's too spicy for 99% of the world. And she likes a little bit of spice. Like, she will eat hot wings. Okay, and she'll eat some Chinese food like General Tao's chicken or butter chicken, Indian food, you know. But when it's really spicy, she doesn't like that. So I got her to try it. She goes, okay, because of the kids. Some of the kids like spice. Most of the kids don't. So it's like, oh no, this is spicy enough for the kids. If anybody wants anything else, we do have hot sauce. I'm like, okay, fair enough. So I made chili, and I swore that there was going to be enough for like leftovers for lunch for the kids the next day for school. There was 1 cup left over. 1 cup, like literally 1 cup of chili. Everybody like had second bowls of chili. A couple of the kids went for third bowls because they were like, "Oh, this is really good." Hi, Grizz Attack. Yep, it's Jen and Canada. No problem. Canada's my city. No, they kept on telling when I was on the phone with Jeff, so I couldn't. So my phone didn't work there because wasn't getting reception because I'm on a cheaper plan, so I only get reception where I'm here, in the bigger city. And she had no Wi-Fi, so I kept on using her phone to just check in on my family to make sure that like everybody's alive. And yes, yes, Grizz. And they kept on saying that they wanted to keep me longer. There was because they were going to put me on the bus to come home. Um, like they picked me up, and then they were going to put me uh, on a Greyhound bus type thing. Well, there's another company. It's called Northern Atlantic or something like that. It's cheaper. Bus home, and he was like, "Yeah, yeah. Tell him that there was no more seats on the bus, and you have to stay a day. We want your cooking." Hey, Grizz, that's funny. Are you still in school? My kids have 1 more week of school. Well, Abby has her last exams Friday. Exams start Thursday. No, starts Wednesday. And my oldest has an exam on Monday. And then off for the summer. Yay! No more school. No more waking them up. That's the hardest part. I mean, my oldest will be babysitting some. My youngest will have a music camp in the middle of July. And we'll just be doing stuff around the house, around the city. We like playing tourist in our city and doing the touristy stuff too. And we like people watching downtown. And swimming. Lots of swimming. Because there are lots of big public pools around here. Yeah, so they didn't want me to leave. They're like, anytime you wanna get away, you wanna escape, and then I come home and my family did do dishes except for Saturday. Scottish, we oh um we free men from oh shoot, the sci-fi fantasy author. Brain just went. Canada, hi, warning, good people. Canada is the west end suburb of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. How is it going? Hey Google, We Free Men.
Terry Pratchett wrote
Terry
The We
Pratchett.
Free Men.
My brain couldn't think like I know I've Terry Pratchett books. Um, and We Free Men was one of my favorites. Cool. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody is welcome in my live streams on my channel, as long as you behave yourself and that, we're all good. Yes, we do. We have Mennonites and um, some Amish ones, more in southern Ontario. Um, there's a group down there, But even actually close to where we were, where I was helping my friend move in Petawawa, we saw some Amish people at the grocery store because they had the whole wagon, the black wagon, and that. That's not big here, but I'm an hours away from Ogdensburg, New York, and there's a lot um, in Ogdensburg. Um, there is a store up in the valley that is a Mennonite grocery store that you can get like their canned goods and stuff like that, like their canning and their housewares type stuff. Yeah, I'm sleepy. I'm yawning, and I had hiccups earlier. Oh, where's my coffee? Coffee, coffee, coffee. What was I saying earlier? I know. I just want to like go to sleep. I need a nap. I did not sleep well last night. I don't know. My neck was bothering me. Only if you snore. I snore, so they would notice if I fell asleep at a desk. Princess is having a kitty cat dream. She just made like meow sounds. um, that's good. Or go to the washroom and just like sit down and like tilt your head on the side wall, and, like with your clothes on, just have a little snooze. No one's gonna be looking for you in there, and if they do, just say, "Oh, it's woman problems," or "I must have eaten something off at lunchtime." No one's gonna continue asking questions. um, yeah. Well, in those fancy washrooms at some of the hotels and the restaurants that I've been in, there's like chairs. There's like comfy, fancy chairs. I'm like, why are there chairs in here? Like there was like four of them around like a circle, like a separate room. So there's a bathroom part where there was facilities, and then there's like four comfy chairs, like with like end tables in between them. Like it looked like people would sit there and chat. I don't know. And then there's mirrors too, and I'm like, and there was at one spot at the Chateau Laurier, which is a really fancy hotel here in Ottawa. That's actually where like the Queen, when the Queen of England comes to Canada, she stays there. Like they take over like a whole floor. Hi, Jacob. But I'm like, why are there four chairs here to sit and chat in the bathroom? Like, I can understand one if you like went there and maybe breastfed or something like that, which you don't. You're allowed to breastfeed wherever your baby's hungry. Hey, Jacob. But I was just like, I'm confused. Why there are so many chairs here to sit at, take a nap? Yeah, well, it was big, comfy chairs, like the fancy, like embroidered chairs, like big cushions. It was very confusing, to say the least. So, but I guess. what was I gonna say? I still haven't figured out. I'm so my menu plan from last week. They didn't have the ham, so I think that we'll have ham for supper tonight. I don't have to think more. But I need to make a menu plan for the rest of the week to use up more of the stuff in my fridge, freezers, and pantry. What's been funny is I keep on using stuff in the freezer and the fridge, and then I make more food and then I freeze it. So, my lentil soup, it made like 14 liters for 2 meals. And then I froze 2 big containers of it and two like 500 ml containers of it. So the big containers had, I think, 6 cups, 6 or 8 cups in it. I'm like, how is this possible? So, hey Google, how many cups are in 14 liters? I think
14 liters equals 59.175 U.S. customary cups.
No, I'm not pregnant. I'm just holding the camera at an angle. It's on my. It's not on my tummy. It's on my leg here because I have my camera attached to my laptop. Oh well. Well, I'm not. There's nothing to be congrats about. um. Oh shoot! What was I saying? Now I'm. Yes, you. Yes, Jacob hit 2,000 subs. Good job, there, Jacob. Yes. I'm not too old not to be pregnant, but I don't really want to necessarily have a baby right now. I'm more than happy to wait another 10 years or so for grandkids because I'm like I can't put up with the whole sleepless nights like my friends are dealing with now. Woohoo! All the I'm waiting for my kids to get home to empty the dishwasher so that it can be loaded again. Yes. Well, my kids are 15 and 17. So technically, I don't want to be a grandmom anytime soon. But I when they are if and when they have kids, um, give them like 10 years from now, so they're finished college, university, have a start on a job. Then they could. I mean, I had my babies when I was 26 and 27, so um, I figure that's probably a good age for them. Finish school, starting a job, have a good bit of savings underway, got your head screwed on straight, like so you're done your early 20s party. But I have friends my age that have either had recent babies or the last few years, um, or some of their kids are older that they've had them younger than I did, and they are grandparents. Just my husband is legally blind, and my youngest daughter is completely blind. Yep, Jacob, I'll check out your video when I'm done my live stream. I just haven't done that yet. Um, because I had just gotten home from planting stuff in the garden. So, yeah. Yep, no, awesome. No problem, Jacob. Yeah, they did really good. I was away from Wednesday to Saturday, and um, my oldest daughter, well, I made two meals, and then she wanted to make a meal um, from scratch that she saw on Pinterest. And I had to go pick up chicken for it because she made stuffed chicken breasts. Oh, just FYI, Donna, um, Jacob is also in Canada, um, but he's, I think, 20 or 21, and he is an adult with a developmental disability with um, another thing as well. Just in case, because sometimes he goes, yeah, 20. I said 20 or 21, because sometimes he goes on about talking about his videos. And it's not him trying to overrule my channel, it just he gets into a loop. So just wanted to let you know. So he's a is this your prank one that you had that you were going to do for your 1K subs? Your or what type of video? So from the videos I've seen, he's done little chats on his channel, and he's done interviews with a couple of other YouTube people that he knows. Check out what's your favorite thing. Developmental delay, oppositional behavior with autistic tendency. Yes, that's why I was. That's why I said developmental disability. But see, you're advanced enough or um, independent enough that you could go out and get a job and live on your own. Yes, awesome. Yes, because I know that your spelling's not as good. You have you must have it on a clipboard to cut and paste. Jacob, not Jacob. Yes, autocorrect's first name is stupid or really stupid. I hate it when it like I have a every time I say something that I like, it likes to put Luke, like it's on a Star Wars theme or something. I don't know. I only know one person whose name is Luke, and it's a friend that I went to high school's her kid, but they live in New Zealand. I know a Lucas, who's another friend of mine's kids, but he doesn't go by Luke. Live with mom and dad, easy. Well, yes, it's easy for you, but you could also go out and get a job to get skills when, especially in the summertime. You should look at what's around you. Because you have school till the end of June, don't you? Or are you out already, Jacob? Because you could work at, like, my friend's daughter, um, who has, um, she's high functioning autistic, has a little bit of a delay. She works at Tim Hortons part time during the school year, and they said that they will hire her full time when she's done school if she wants to. So that's a good job. They have actual benefits at full when you get full time, and it has transferable skills. that if you work at Tim Hortons, you also have skills that you could work at another restaurant or in other things. Helps you deal with customer service and um, learn how to take money and make sandwiches and coffee and do it according to certain recipes. Actually spelled it correctly too. But just as I push send button, okay, we're just going to hit and changed it into in here. These are the Contigo cups. These are the old style from Costco. Um, Here we got them like two for $20. They have other different lids, but they keep my coffee warm. Like I poured this 8 o'clock this morning, and it's now warm. Yes, we love the water bottles too, but these metal ones, they're insulated, so it says. Oh, and it's non-spill. um, do not microwave. Dishwasher safe lid. Hand wash the body. So I put it still in the dishwasher. It says hand wash the body because the paint does come off eventually, of the painted ones. Yes. See. Oh, I should check. He he hit 1,000 supporters last year, and he just managed to hit 2,000 just a couple weeks ago. But he still doesn't have the watch time. So I'm trying to work with him privately to help him give him ideas of things to make as videos for that people will also like to watch. Mm. Perpetrator to purple trader. Kind of like spaz-getty to spaghetti. I always just say spaz-getty just because it's funny sounding. Yeah, I'm unsure if Jacob has found his YouTube niche. He's still fairly young, even though he is 20. Think of a teenage boy. So a lot of times it's like chats or um, reviews on things or video games, and that he does sometimes some jokes or pranks with his stepbrother, who's also Jacob, who's also has his own YouTube thing. I think I'm unsure. I've watched a few of his videos. Um, they're entertaining, but well, I've got to get going because I have to figure out supper, and my phone keeps on saying low battery. But I just wanted to pop in here. It's been so long. I hadn't had internet, and I would have, um, if I did have internet, I would have popped in there much earlier. I do have 3 videos I just have to edit, and they'll be coming out. Yes, I will be live. I'll go live tomorrow. I'll do my morning coffee chat. 8:30. Well, if my children get out of the door by 8:30, 8:30. If not closer to 9. I'll check with Angie to see if she is free. I thought she was going to be free today, but she didn't message me. But that's okay. I had to go plant my garden, and it poured. Like, my dress is still a little bit damp from the rain. My hair is still damp. That's why I'm, like, playing with it. Okay, awesome, Amanda. And Donna, thanks for popping by. Amanda, Donna, Grizz, Jacob, Tom, uh, Sherry was in here. Who else? Warning Good People was in here. Eric Matthews Woodrow was in here. Hometown Cooking with Mary Ann. I think that was everything. I'm still a bit distracted a lot. No problem. I was just saying bye to everybody. I was like giving you kind of like a little shout out. And feel free, share the love, and check out my other videos. I will be having other videos that I scheduled to pop in this week because I've already got them done. I was hoping to edit them while I was in Palawawa, but it didn't happen because I had no internet. So I will be doing that. Yes. Well, I've got to get going anyways, too. Abby should be home. I'm unsure if I have to pick her up from school. She was in a mood today, so I don't know if she has a headache and stuff. Her coming home is sometimes gets distracted. So, wow, Peto Wawa. So I'm leaving. So my friend, Palawawa is an army base here in Canada, where and also a town too. So that my friend moved there because her husband, fiance, is in the military. I will be back tomorrow morning around 8:39 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, it's called Petawawa. P-E-T-E P-E-T-A-W-A-W-A. Yes, had to think, had to try and spell it. That is, it's about an hour and a half if you drove. Like I took the bus, the Voyager bus, and it took 2 hours, just under 2 hours. So it took like an hour and 40 minutes, but it had to stop in Palawawa, then Pembroke, then Cobden, then Renfrew, then Arnprior, then Canada, and then it was going to Ottawa. So my friend who was going up there to help her move as well on Wednesday drove me up there, but she had to come back Thursday night because she had a baby doctor appointment, and then but they wanted if I could stay till Saturday to help with more painting and moving and stuff like that because I was a good helper. I said sure, no problem. My family can fend for themselves. So I left there Saturday at 6:30, and I got home at Saturday 8:30. So it was a good little 4 days of. I didn't have to be responsible for anybody else besides myself. I mean, I did help take care of the little Lincoln guy. He's only a year old. He's so cute, and and the other kids. Well, it's nice. Well, exactly. I get to play with other people's kids. That like my friend's kids have known me. Actually, I watched her kids. I watched her kids last year when Lincoln was born, and I watched her kids. Her two oldest kids when Aiden was born like 8 years ago. So we've known each other for many years. So it's quite nice. It was good to catch up. I didn't, we hung out. So have a great day. See you guys tomorrow, 8:39 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This Wednesday I'm going to start teaching a friend's. Ooh, that is awesome. I need to find somebody who can sew my husband's pants because he's lost weight. Woohoo! Over the past couple of years that he was putting them on like he has a belt, and we keep on putting smaller, more holes on the belt. But he was like he was showing his belt. His pants when he was putting them on today, there was about almost a foot that he had stretched them out. He's like, "Hey, Rowan, jump in!" You know, because you could fit almost another person, a small person, in his pants. So I'm like, yeah, and his pants are expensive because he's a big, tall guy. So we spend about $60 or $80 a pair of pants. So if I could find somebody that can, sew them smaller and still make them look like dress pants, that yeah, I don't know what it is. Men, they can lose weight like without trying. Because I mean, he eats the exact same shit as I do. But
Hey.
oh, hey Abby.
Are you on live stream?
Yes, I was just getting off. How so yourself? 5-year-olds can do it 10 years ago. Yes, but that's one more thing on my plate that I don't have time for. Yes. Amanda says hello. She hears you. I was just trying to get.
Oh, tell her I say hi.
Oh, Abby says hi, Amanda. She just came in. She's starting to singing. So I guess you had a good afternoon.
No.
No.
I spent an hour, like 2 hours, typing on my brother, going food.
Food.
Food, 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 food. I ran out of ginger candies. This is the problem.
Okay. I'm going to let you guys go because apparently I got to go and feed her a snack.
Oh, this is not my fault.
It's your fault.
You were
didn't.
going. You were going.
I was going, but I was saying I'm going to feed her a snack. Bye.
Oh, it's